That felt good. I needed that. I needed that. I needed that reminder of why we do the stream. That felt good. G Fontes joining us. What's up, G Fonts? Nailed it. Okay, Trump arrives somewhere, wherever the hell we are now. We got cannons firing in the background. The king has arrived. Man, look at the thickness of that door. Hey, it's another guy in a turban. How many guys in a turban is this so far this week? Is this like the third or the fourth? Oh my God. Trump is just like, where the fuck am I now? Shaka Doug says the boss, Shaka Doug. Look at this entrance, look at all those flags. Oh my God, that's great. Those are like American flags too, huh? Why is the quality so low for this? American flags mixed, switch, whatever flags these people. Everyone's favorite president, without exceptions, Donald Trump, loves it. I think that got his energy up a little bit. And here we got what exactly do we have here? We have some ladies throwing their hair around. I'm sure that's going to go over great tomorrow in the fake news. It's a freak off, says Shaka Doug. Oh, thank God we're having a pause in the freak off. That was nuts. Oh my God, it's like Justin Bieber got here. I can't wait to see the White House footage of that. That was crazy. Oh, look this way? Yes, okay. Another national anthem? Everywhere we go. This has been an amazing trip. Shaka Doug says these palaces are remarkable. What's up, Elite Domer Brad Ballyho? Brad says not paying late fee. I'm elite. That's true. That's true. Late fees are waived. Do you think that the first place played the national anthem and then every other place is like, shit, we gotta learn that song? Where the hell even are we? The Arab Emirates, the place that sounds like an airliner? Speed says it's called the hair twirl, Mr. Rotella. I'm sorry, Speed. You're right. I should have known that. Sharon sure says they're saying lots of secret negotiations going on. That's why Iran capitulated, says Sharon's here. Well, of course there's secret deals. Elida Marani says Mr. Rotella invented the hair twirl back in his clubbing days. Well, I did go to a club, but it was an 80s club, so I don't exactly call that a club. I mean, it was an 80s / alternative club, but damn, it was fun. I never went to like take it to the club, dude. No, that's not for me. Watch out, he's got a sword. Ooh. At this point, how boring is this to Donald Trump? Yeah, another palace. You seen one palace, you see them all. When are they having the monkey brains for dinner? Hi, Arya. Goodness gracious, what are you doing? He looks dead tired, doesn't he? Goodness gracious, could you imagine this schedule? I can barely do our schedule. By the way, we're bringing back a gaming stream on Saturdays. We're doing family-friendly Fortnite on Saturday morning, and then we're bringing back another stream later on in the day. We got to stream every single day right now. We got to be on offense. Eli Domer do not copy says not shaking hands for hours today. He literally shook hands for over an hour yesterday. And then he made a joke about it at night. I didn't know I was going to shake 400 people's hands. But he did it. He stood there and he did it. Damn. You know what he's thinking right now? Is this going to be another 4 hours? Okay, we do have a little speech to watch. Let's watch him. Let's watch him do his speech today. I think Susie Wilds is in the. Who is this? Oh, here comes our cabinet. Look around, enjoy the space, huh? Not bad. Should we build one of these things? Trump gives Bessett a slap on the shoulder. I like that extra support for the only outwardly gay man and wherever the hell they are. Gotta be rough for that guy. Oh, we get a hug from that is that Steve? What's Steve's last name? Dome Radio says the A-team, 100%. Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller gets a prolonged handshake from the prince. Hey, I think Stephen Miller for president. What do you guys think? It's about time we had a bald president. I mean, we need some diversity. He's got a great dome, says Ralston. That's right, Ralston. Wow. A prolonged handshake with the United Arabites, whatever the hell his name is, and Stephen Miller. That's crazy. Was not expecting that. Elite Domer Palm says, hello everyone, just got here. Ballyhoo Palms, welcome in. Since you are an Elite Domer, your late fees are waived. Has everyone else paid their late fees tonight? Elite Domer Anything saying hi to Palms. Everyone's saying hi to Palms. Okay, coming up next, our main event. Trump at a round table. Wait. This is in Qatar? Is this from today or is this from Qatar? May 15th is May 15th. Okay, this is new. Welcome to the Dome.
Might have to flip a tiny table. Thank you, Domettes. Is Sharon here? Aria. Oh, Sharon's here. Welcome to the Dome. Welcome to the Dome. Welcome to the Dome. Yeah. Welcome to the Dome. Welcome home, and we'll never be alone. Say hello to Globalists scrolling through our phones. Showing Mr. Rotella can't be owned. Holding on to hope and a mustache cone. They're losing control of the narrative. They're calling using common sense scandalous. The vote in blue with no embarrassment. We're just looking for truth through the camera fib. There it is. Who are we gonna trust? Turn off MSM. Everybody speaking this sucks. We're not giving up our guns. We're not eating the bugs. We're supporting Trump until he's legally won. Left installed and popping it. We can see what he's done. Joey, most folks didn't even need him to run. We've been placing some bets in and laying some lessons. Amazing we have this many paying attention. And we've been learning for years, burping up beers, scream to the cause, and I'm sure that I'll cheers. Left's probably wrong, but they're certainly weird. Every day I keep saying we've seen the worst of the year. Craziest story ever told. Change is coming and we're helping it unfold. I'm smelting in my nose and felt it in my bones. You can tell it to the clones. We're in for one hell of a show. Welcome to the Dome. Welcome to the Dome. Welcome to the Dome. Welcome to the Dome, yeah.
My friends, before we play Trump, now we've watched these speeches for the last 3 days. They're most likely going to be very similar. I don't mind doing it again with the Dome, but I offer you an alternative. Just today, Rep. Summer Lee introduced a reparations bill, and she gave a speech on why they should have reparations. Would you like to watch the reparations speech with Mr. Rotella right now? Press 1 or no. Let's type in the chat. Let's type in the chat. Reparations or Trump? Let's get it inside the chat. Reparations or Trump? Get it inside the chat. Anything says Trump. Dome Radio says Trump. Sharon's here says reparations. Cowgirl says Trump. Shaka says Trump. PNW says Ballyho, Mr. Rotella, best reparation-free domes. That's right. No reparations inside the dome. Ronnie says reparations. See, Ronnie and Sharon's here get it. Let me just say that Ronnie and Sharon's here get it. I think we'd let me throw in my 2 cents. I think we'd have more fun with reparations. I'm just saying. I think we would have more fun. If anyone would like to change their vote, you're allowed to change your vote. I'm just saying, I think we would have more fun with reparations. Animate says Trump doing princes, how handsome they are. They are handsome. For America says, okay, reparations. Taz Boucher says, I'm not for reparations, but I'm for it right now, says Taz Boucher. You know what? I don't even know if your vote even mattered. I don't even know if your vote even mattered, folks. I kind of feel like reparations. I want to watch it. I want to watch it. I saw it come out today, and I'm like, damn, this could be fun inside the dome. Shaka Doug says, I'll take reparations for the laugh, please. Ballyho Shaka Doug. I'm just saying, guys, you know, I mean, we've literally watched the same Trump speech for the last 4 days, since Monday. We watched it for the last 4 days. Hab says, fine, let's watch reparations. Okay. I mean, pull my arm, guys. I guess I'll watch reparations.
Go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
I want this to be over here. Is there fine?
Is there anything else that you don't want, miss? You want our money? You want the microphone over there?
I think we're just about ready, right? We need 2 more minutes. We are not ready. We're so close. Okay.
They're never on time, are they?
This is difficult. I'm going to take this out.
For America, gonna have a good time. Speed 455 says reparations.
We should have definitely gone with a smaller font.
While we wait for the press, let's do one big group shot.
Put your papers, big put your papers.
Double dip on time.
This is before anyone even shows up. Look at this.
If you guys, if you want to get a side.
How does that lady want reparations?
I don't want to block that.
I know. For the I'm short, so I can always be in the front.
Oh, look at this. We got some Cory Booker inside.
I'm tall. I'll take it.
We got the bald lady.
The first one with signs down, and then we'll hold signs above.
I got a better hairline than her.
One, look up here first.
What's with the Asians wanting reparations? Are the Asians getting reparations too?
On 3, 2, 1, right here. Right there.
Who's talking?
And I'm gonna have my friend
Great.
drop down a little bit more. Okay. I appreciate you.
Oh, him.
Oh my God, tall privilege.
Too. Thank you.
Okay, signs up.
What? Look at the good practice that everyone's having here.
He's not putting that down.
Shaka Doug says, nice sign. You know what? If you're going to, I mean, I do like the sign. I do like the messaging. If you're going to do it, you might as well rub it right in people's faces.
Did this eat up the 2 minutes?
That's what we're hoping for.
All right.
Everybody take a deep breath. Let's go.
They're taking
right,
a
we're
deep
good.
breath. Thanks,
All right.
back row guy.
First of all, just thank you all so much for your patience as we see here at the top.
Everybody.
Everybody take a deep breath.
All right.
Everybody take a deep breath. Let's go.
All right, we're good.
Let's go and do what?
All right.
Ask for
First
my
of all,
money?
just thank you all so much for your patience as we see here at the Capitol. Sometimes we have to pivot at the last minute, and we are accustomed to it. So I'm grateful for everybody who made the adjustments, everybody who made the trip, who've traveled to come here to fight for reparations and to continue on in our movement for justice and peace and equity. So I just want to, first of all, shout out the
Why don't they have
coalition of
jobs?
people who are here. When we think about the efforts that it takes to make anything move in this country, it's never one person, it's never one legislator. It is always a coalition of people who are come together from all over this country, from so many different backgrounds, so many different states and groups. Thank you so much for your work, for your dedication. To the colleagues of mine who have stood with us, who are continuing to stand with us as we fight back against the whitewashing of our history, the obstruction of justice, and the flat out denial of our voices in Black lives. I am deeply humbled today to be reintroducing the Reparations Now resolution.
They are so ready for the Summer of Love riots 2.0, and you know what? So is the Dome.
Resolution was first led by my sister in service, the formidable Cori Bush, who has, thank you. Sister Cori has long sought to repair the injustices that plague our communities, has stood on the front line and intersectional movements, and continues to do that. From whether she's inside of the House of Congress or she's outside, we can always rely on her to stand up and to come back and to stand with us.
Kitchens is locked and loaded.
And to be clear, she and I and we stand here not just as a member and former member of Congress, but of descendants of enslaved ancestors, of people whose labor built this country, whose humanity had been denied for centuries. So we're here to say that there's no more waiting, no more watering down, no more putting justice on layaway. Black folks are owed more than thoughts and prayers. Yes. And we're owed repair, we're owed restitution, and we're owed justice. We're reintroducing this critical resolution today because contrary to the desperate, defensive, and deeply inaccurate arguments against justice and equity in this country, attacks on equality, Black economic opportunity, Black health, Black wealth, and so much more are not just a ghost of the past, but they are a very present and ongoing legacy that we are living through right now.
I don't even have to say anything for this to be hilarious.
I saw that our friends at Fox News have already picked this up. They scooped us. And as we know, depending on who picks up a story, there's different framings. And it's always interesting to see what framing they're going to use. So some folks like to frame the debate around reparations as Black folks simply complaining about wrongs done in a distant past to our ancestors that nobody today is guilty of. But we know that's not just ahistorical, it's ignoring the reality of today. On today, we are still living.
Elite Domer Thomas, hi Thomas. An elite domer from the back row comes down for the reparations talk, says reparations are BS, tired of the Keller shit with all Americans. I agree, Thomas. Welcome. Welcome in, Thomas. Thanks for being an elite back row domer. I appreciate it.
Through the effects of the brutal kidnapping and trafficking of Africans and the government-sanctioned system of chattel enslavement that ushered this country into existence. We're living through the effects of a government-sanctioned system of sharecropping that replaced it in lieu of reparations to the freed Black Americans who had nothing but their names, an eviction notice, few legal protections, and nowhere to go. We're still living through the government-sanctioned Jim Crow segregation laws that kept Black Americans from equal or sometimes any access to education, jobs, homes.
I hear you have your own colleges. Aren't those HBCUs?
No legal recourse for persistent acts of terrorism like public lynching or massacres of towns like Tulsa and Rosewood and so many more. We're still living through the government-sanctioned voter disenfranchisement, followed by government-sanctioned discriminatory housing policies, government-sanctioned mass incarceration, and more. The harms done to enslaved Africans and subsequently their descendants.
Why didn't she mention Planned Parenthood that literally kills Black people and was literally designed to do so? If you look into the past and the creator of Planned Parenthood, it was actually her desire.
For generations to follow are innumerable, but they are well documented, traceable, and persistent. We often hear that slavery was a thing of the past, that our country no longer allows segregation, that Black folks has every access to opportunity available to them, but yet we see how easily centuries of progress and struggles are erased and undone. With a stroke of a pen, the president was able to say that diversity, equity, and inclusion are not policies or practices or goals that our government or institutions or businesses should implement. Even while Black folks are demonstrably underrepresented across colleges and education, higher education, jobs, and all other indices of success or outward mobility. With a stroke of a pen, a president thinks he can eliminate the Office of Civil Rights at the DOJ and the Department of Education. that he can eliminate the Department of Education altogether. With a stroke of a pen, the president thinks he can eliminate thousands of good black jobs and the mass layoff of federal workers. And by a vote of just 6 people, we can eliminate affirmative action. Reparations are owed because there is a debt that is owed. But more than anything, this moment shows us that the fate of justice and equality and fairness and opportunity for the current living and descendant people of government-sanctioned discrimination or oppression can't be left to the whims of any administration. Where the government has created a harm, it has a duty to repair. So let's make it clear. There is a debt that does exist. This country has taken so much from black folks and has a debt it owes because for over 400 years into this very day, this country has stolen black labor.
I'm interested in the number. What's the number that each person should get? What's the number?
Black lives, black futures. Industries were built and maintained through the subjugation of black people in this country, and wealth was built and maintained through the discriminatory policies that still plague us to this day. And to be clear, some people directly benefited from it or are direct beneficiaries of it. We have systems that create and perpetuate imbalances and balances in our society, and you either benefit from it or you are disenfranchised by it. And black people continue to be disenfranchised and harmed by these systems.
They so want
Others
riots
receive
this
advantages
summer.
from it. So it was no accident
That's going to be
that
great,
the Federal
Doman.
Housing Authority denied black families the ability to purchase homes in certain neighborhoods, and to this day are more likely to be denied a mortgage, while white families were able to build homes and generational wealth. It's no accident that veterans were dishonorably discharged so that they couldn't reap the benefits of the GI Bill, while white veterans were provided education and training benefits to kickstart opportunities for their descendants. It's no accident that highways and transportation and infrastructure projects tore our communities apart and bulldozed black neighborhoods to the ground because even when black folks did everything right by building our own communities, our own schools, our own banks, our own churches, they could still be destroyed in a matter of moments. The reality is that black people have less wealth. We have a maternity mortality crisis. We are more likely to live in polluted areas, more so than any others because the federal government made it that way. So even though folks today have never owned an enslaved human being, so many are still the direct beneficiaries of the policies and systems and institutions.
So this is
that
where you live is my fault?
And we know there will be pushback. And we've all seen the pushback, and we've worked through it. It's why we're here today. Reparations are a proposal to level the playing field, but the only way we could ever have a level playing field is by remedying the harms that have been done by the system. So we need real, concrete action. We
What's
need
the number?
that close the racial wealth gap, eliminate black maternal health disparities.
Shaka Doug says, Elite Domer says, she sounds coked up. You know, Shaka Doug, I agree, but stream cheers to the cause. If you are going to give this argument, you got to give this argument in a concise, understandable manner to who you're trying to give this argument to. And she's doing a good job with the speech so far. I will say that. Do I agree with any of it? Fuck no. But, I mean, she is selling it to who she needs to sell it to.
Address environmental racism in our communities, and we need reparations. It is a moral obligation and a debt that this country owes. So today, with my colleagues and with our coalition and movement, I say it again, reparations now, not later, not someday, and not when it's politically convenient. So we're here today
well, how about
to
never?
hear the stories of black folks, to reaffirm our history and our place in it, but also what we are owed as being and having been exploited in this country. So without further ado, I thank you, and I believe that I'm going to pass the mic to my sister in service and original sponsor of this resolution, Cori Bush.
Oh boy, Cori Bush, here we go. This will be enlightening.
Oh, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Good afternoon.
Is that an Illuminati ring?
Oh, and good afternoon, everyone.
We see that red ruby ring everywhere. Bam.
Thank you for being here.
Good afternoon.
Many thanks to Congresswoman Summer Lee for your leadership and for taking the
time
mantle,
to try to
taking up
manipulate
this
the
mantle
world again
and moving it forward.
What's up, Oda Ballyhope?
And so I'm so proud and I'm so honored to be here with you, to see you shining in all of your excellence and brilliance as you push this forward with the help of all of the people up here. I'm just so proud of you and so excited for you. And to all the groups, thank you for your tireless work, for your thankless work. And without you, this would not move forward. Without you all. Because the people in Congress.
Does that mean the people that have been putting in this work are going to get reparations on top of reparations?
Can't do this alone. Today, we stand here in the shadow of centuries of.
Ellie Domer Thomas comes in with a $20 dome investment, says, for the last rant. Thank you so much, Thomas. I appreciate that, Ballyho. Usually there's an alert that comes up. It's been putting up the wrong one all night long, so it might not even come up anymore, but we'll see. Thank you, Thomas. Ballyho.
Of injustice, and in the light of our ancestors' unbreakable spirit. Today we say what too many are afraid to say, reparations now. When I decided to run for office years ago, one of my priorities was to come here and move the needle on reparations in a transformative way, to see what the internal barriers are in Congress and to work to overcome them. I also knew I wanted to introduce legislation, and as we heard from Representative Lee, we actually did that. So in 2023, after working with all of the groups represented here and so many more for more than a year, back and forth working on this legislation. Woo! Together, we...
Is a year a long time of hard work for them? I mean, come on, little lady. I've been doing the stream for fucking 7.
Introduced the Reparations Now resolution. It was a labor of love.
Oh my God, a whole year. I can't believe it.
Why would I, a descendant of enslaved black people on both sides of my family and in all of my chocolate glory, not prioritize reparations here in this house?
I don't even like sweets.
And again, I'm so glad that Rep. Lee decided in all of her chocolate glory to make it a priority as well. For over 400 years, this country has profited off the stolen labor, the stolen land, and stolen lives of black people. From the first shackled bodies brought to these shores, and those that didn't make it to the shores, to the grueling,
there's a lot of going on in the background.
Work done on plantations that built America's wealth, to the federal officials who enslaved human beings while they wrote our laws, even here in this building. America has been cashing checks written in black blood. The wealth gap today.
Silver Wizard says, what about the Indians? The Indians? What about the Irish?
Wealth gap today, it didn't fall from the sky. It is a direct result of chattel slavery, of Jim Crow, of redlining, of the war on drugs, of mass incarceration, and designed violently to hold, to keep, to ensure that black people would be poor and stay poor, to be powerless and oppressed. And every day that we fail to repair the harm, we compound it. And now we have a president who would have us to believe the Civil Rights Act was a mistake, that the Voting Rights Act is just too much. He wants to roll back the very protections our people bled for.
Well, it seems a little racist.
Rights that are already so fragile for us, so conditional. And we're supposed to just sit back and pretend that this is politics as usual? No, we know what it is. This is fascism wrapped in a suit and tie. So you see, they've tried to also go after and demonize the word woke, to twist it into something ugly. But let me tell you what woke means.
Tell me.
It means we remember. We remember the terror of racial massacres, the theft of our neighborhoods, the forced labor that built the very Capitol we stand in. We remember the lynchings. We remember the executions disguised as law and order. And we remember, and we're thinking about even the possible pardons that may come next. We remember, and that memory is power. And that's why we're here today, because we're not asking for a handout. No, we're demanding justice. We are demanding what is owed. We are demanding reparations. But they tell us it's too expensive. Well,
give me the number.
Was it too expensive when they gave out land grants to white settlers? Was it too expensive when they bailed out the banks that preyed on our neighborhoods? Was it too expensive when they
that's a
handed
good point.
billions to corporations that built their fortunes off the backs of enslaved people? No.
The
It
banks
wasn't
is a
too
good one.
expensive
The
then.
banks is a good one. Do you think they've heard about the Federal Reserve?
And it's not too expensive now. So we say to the halls of power, stop telling
They're
us
getting
to wait.
close.
We have waited for generations. We say to our allies, some who are standing up here today, but these are the ones that are fierce coming with us. Stand with us, speak with us, fight with us, and we thank you for doing so. And we say to the rest of America, if you are truly committed to justice as you try to say you are, you cannot look away. You cannot turn your back on the demand for reparations, because until there is repair, there will be no justice. And where there is no justice, we will continue to fight. We're not going anywhere. We are awake, we are organized, and we will win. Reparations now.
I'm not completely against reparations, because if you really wanted a cash infusion into the U.S. economy, that would fucking do it. You think they're saving any of this money, my friends? No way, they're not saving this money. Whatever the number is will be back inside the U.S. economy in a matter of 48 hours. So, hey, you know, I'm going to be open-minded. I'm waiting to hear their number. I'm waiting to see why we should do this. Give me the why, and I might be for it. Let's go back inside the Dome Theater.
Go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Too many dollars chasing too few goods, says G-Fonts. They take one trip to what's that expensive grocery store? We'll get it all back in an afternoon.
Thank you. All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
Good afternoon. Ooh, I love being with Movement Family. You know, I don't know, y'all. It's just something about where these two enter. You're always going to get a mix of revival, of rally, and of renewal. While we're in the fight for restitution. Okay? But again, it's beautiful to be
Brad
here today
says
with
she
all
looks
of
like a
you,
dick.
my Movement family, freedom fighters and justice seekers, justice seekers. Because that is exactly what reparations is about, justice. Justice delayed is justice denied, and we need reparations when? Now. We need reparations when? Now. So very proud to be here alongside Congresswoman Summer Lee. I don't know
Isn't that like a cult thing to do?
How deep the bench of Black women power is in the corridors and halls of Congress. Congresswoman Summer Lee is a brilliant scholar. She's an unapologetic truth teller, and she is a movement builder.
Mom,
and
1, 2, 3
I'm so
says, someone
grateful to
say
her for
dick?
advancing this critical legislation to make reparations a reality, and to gather today for the reintroduction of the Reparations Now resolution originally championed by our sister, Congresswoman Cori Bush, who has time and again never asked permission to lead. Who has been the architect,
the definition of leader,
honoring that long-standing tradition of Black women.
Why do they think that they need permission for things?
When we enter and we take our seat at the table,
Just do
we
it.
shake the table, we shift the energy.
I do it.
And
You do
every
it. We
time
all
I'm in
do
the
it.
presence of these two,
Leaders lead.
I feel that Fannie Lou is being summoned. I feel that Sojourner is being summoned. And so it's an honor to do this work shoulder to shoulder with them, and a greater honor to call them my sisters. The momentum that we see throughout this country is a testament to the strength of this movement.
Momentum?
It is a
You
testament
have
to the
zero
strength
momentum.
of your agitation, to the extent of your stamina, testament.
I think this is why all this stuff is coming up. They have zero momentum, so they have to do something right now. Do you think that everyone's favorite president, without exceptions, President Trump, is really thinking about pardoning Derek Chauvin? I mean, there's no fucking way. At least not now. There's no fucking way. Unless we knew that the riots were coming and we wanted to start the riots when we wanted to control when the riots started, something like that would make sense to Mr. Rotella. If we could preempt when they actually wanted riots to happen, that would make sense to me. So that, they got it out of their system and it doesn't happen again. But there's no way we're even thinking about pardoning Derek Chauvin. There's no freaking way.
To the strength of your strategic
But if it happens, we're streaming it.
thought partnership and your demands. The reparations movement is one with a long history dating back to the early sins of this nation when our African ancestors were kidnapped, raped, shipped, warehoused, and enslaved, our ancestors whose labor built this country. When I think about what we take on in this moment,
I gotta ask, would you rather be here or where you were, though, at this moment right now? Just curious.
Shared so many times before, several years ago, an indigenous elder challenging me to be a better
If none of that happened, where would you rather be?
And that call to action has never left me to be a better ancestor than descendant. And that is why I was so honored to take on H.R. 40 from the late, great Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. Alongside Congresswoman Summer Lee's Reparations Now resolution, our collective legislative efforts are the catalyst for transformative and reparative justice. They are
See, this is the outlying problem with the Democratic Party, with the left. They want to be a collective. We want to be strong individuals that create a strong collective. There is such a big difference. There is such a big difference. If you're part of the collective, you don't fucking do anything for the collective. You just rely on the collective to give you things. But if you're a strong individual, you want to make things so everyone can live okay. Big difference.
Acknowledgement of the harm and an end to the neglect.
Makers and takers.
And healing and a departure from
useless
gaslighting.
eaters, as Klaus Schwab would say.
They represent restitution for Black folks' contributions in every aspect of American society, with the coordinated attacks coming out of the White House with this occupant who is a white nationalist, who believes that the enslavement of our ancestors was a workforce development program. Yeah. So with these attacks going on, Republicans in Congress, our movement is needed now more than ever. I am asked nearly daily, why now? To which we say, exactly now.
Well, it's almost
Trump's
summer.
policies are nothing but
ready for the riots.
anti-blackness on steroids. Trying to end diversity, equity, and inclusion and bring back segregation. This America wants to make America Jim Crow again, and then some. Get rid of fair housing laws, equal employment opportunity, quality education for Black folks. Firing government federal workers is an attack on Black people because we represent 20% of that workforce. Dismantling the Department of Education is an attack on Black people because our schools are the ones that need funding. Gutting Medicaid is an attack on Black people because our babies and our mothers carrying our babies rely on it for access to health care. Defunding the Smithsonian. Have you all read that executive order? He actually says in the language that race is biology and not a social construct. That is the same belief system of the Ku Klux Klan. So
God.
don't ask me why now.
Bobby,
exactly
welcome in.
Now.
Ballyho.
When there's an ongoing attack
You just are
on
what
Black
you are,
people because
man.
our history is what they are trying to erase because they seek to erase us. Republicans are showing us daily what it looks like to legislate hurt, harm, and oppression, but we are showing what it looks like to legislate equity, what it looks like to legislate healing, and what it looks like to...
How can you legislate equity? It doesn't. That's not fair for the better.
Legislate justice. From H.R. 40 to Reparations Now, to Tulsa, to Slavery Remembrance, Congress has a duty and an obligation to confront past wrongs and the centuries of enslavement, violence, and discrimination against
The better should not suffer for the dipshit.
black people. We are in a moment of anti-blackness on steroids, and we refuse to be silent. We will not back down in our pursuit of racial justice. The antidote to anti-blackness is to be pro-black, and we will do it unapologetically. The United States government owes us a debt, and we need reparations now.
I mean, such a fucking cop-out out of everything out of her mouth. What a fucking cop-out. Disgusting. I hate it. But I love watching it.
I want to
I love documenting
apologize
it.
that I didn't more formally introduce Rep. Presley like we did Rep. Bush. Remedying that now, I would like to introduce Rep. Rashida Tlaib. What? Yes, your turn. Yeah, but I had to bring it out anyways because our folks are coming up next. So with that, Rep. Rashida Tlaib.
Oh yeah, here's a great
You
one.
went to go get the paper.
No, it's fine. Thank you all so much. I love being in this room because it's like being at
I think they had a crazy glasses off competition today.
It really is. I'm so grateful to my sister, Cori Bush, for introducing Reparations Now resolution. And again, people nodded their heads or like shrugging and everything. She didn't care. She kept moving. And I'm so inspired by the fact that Congresswoman Summer Lee is taking on the torch and carrying this very important legislation. Thank you both for your incredible leadership on this. Of course, I stand here before you as a Congresswoman for the most beautiful, blackest city in the country, the city of Detroit. To say that reparations is not a radical idea. We've been talking about it forever.
You're telling me.
Singing it from the rooftops, talking to urban farmers, to everyone, from saying if you're not going to, we're going to find ways and pathways to try to again heal the harm and the hurt of many of my family members.
Illy Domer Animate says, if they get reparations, I'm buying stock in the crazy glasses company.
And my community and you Detroiters know.
Can you make an AI of that, Animate?
That it is
Show me the storefront of the crazy glasses company.
And a true acknowledgement of the pain and the trauma and harm inflicted on generations of many of our black neighbors. Reparations are a necessary step towards true equity in our country and a more just
I'm telling
future.
you.
There is an
The
opportunity
majority of
for
this money
Congress
would be
to
back
confront our nation's
inside
racist
the
history
U.S.
of slavery
economy
and white
in no
supremacy.
time. It might not
We
be a
must
bad idea.
Provide the descendants of enslaved black families with reparations that they were promised. That's the thing that everybody keeps forgetting.
And then they're going to ask for second
early on,
reparations.
they were promised this.
We're going to be like, okay.
And they deserve to create a pathway towards healing and justice. The path towards justice has never been easy. We know that. It's like this institution. We
I'm
all
starting
know
to be
wasn't
sold
built
on
for us.
reparations
But we
just
have
by
to,
the
on
way I'm thinking
outside,
about it right
move
now.
them. It's just like we always have to on every single thing regarding our children, our communities, our health, and so much more. But we must remember it is never in vain, right? Congress must act to confront these uncomfortable truths and right the wrongs of our country's history. Our country, as you know, has been built.
Brad, it's either this or we hear Trump talk about the eggs for the 57,017th time. All right, Brad? It's either this or that. Okay? I'm tired of hearing about the eggs. This is fun to improv off of. Let Mr. Rotella have fun.
By many of our black families and communities. For centuries, many have endured the brutality of slavery, the violence of white supremacy, the dehumanization of Jim Crow, which is still inevitable.
We have to know their
still
arguments.
Very evident in auto insurance and housing insurance, and no, it's everywhere in housing and everything. No, it's true. I see it every day. In my community, and the systemic racism that has left lasting impact on lives of our
Shamando says, how do you decide who gets reparations? Whoever complains the loudest, I guess.
The fact that black mothers are still not believed when they say they're in pain in the hospital. There's so much, again, systems that have been in place there that are killing many of our black neighbors. The federal government has played a central role. You heard it from many of my sisters here. And I'm not simply talking about depths of the past here, but the social and economic policies that built middle class in 20th century, like Social Security and federal housing
policies. You can't just say you're making a poop joke, Brad.
At the time, black
Make a poop joke if you want to be put in a 5-minute timeout.
And again, we saw it. It was more difficult to access quality education.
We have actual justice here inside the dome.
That we continue to see in policy. By providing reparations for many of my families, we can begin to address the racial wealth gap and the decades of disinvestment in communities like mine, and dismantle the racist systems that have held back many of our neighbors and resulted in so much death. We know that true healing cannot occur without acknowledging that pain, and reparations is necessary. I'm proud to be from a community that understands that. The community mothers that helped raise me continue to always remind me, again, we don't wait. We always talk about that.
We'll be done
they
after
will never
her.
Understand. It's almost like, I remember one community mother's like, oh, he don't get it. Let's keep going.
Oh, 5-minute timeout for Brad.
But I would like to share a quote. I like to always bring a little bit of my district in from a resident, Lauren Hood. She's a friend in the city of Detroit's former reparations task force chair.
She said, oh my God, they got a gun. They're going to kill my whole family in Detroit.
She said, quote, for it to be holistic reparations, it needs to be
I
an
was close.
acknowledgement of the harm, some form of redress, and insurance that it won't happen again. And again, what we heard today,
They are the ones that
is
sound
just with the
racist,
stroke of a
Thomas.
pen.
Exactly, man.
We are seeing
Fucking
the current
crazy.
administration
And they don't even know it.
dismantle even the small
They're
little
racist
trinkets of
against
crumbs
themselves.
of protection they provided our families.
If they just believed in themselves, if they just, this is not a race thing, this is a human thing. If you just believe that you can fucking do something, you actually, get off your ass and do it.
And again, we need to make sure that it's not only reparations, but that it leads to more real, true policy change that, again, protects our families. But again, thank you to my sisters. It's always so wonderful to be
There's
with
makers
all of you
and takers,
truth tellers.
and that's about it.
And again, it's wonderful to be at home in this Congress that just really is. Just chips at your soul, but thank you. What? It does. But thank you for restoring me today. Thank you. Okay, sorry.
They had the heavy hitters there early, and I don't mean that intellectually, I mean that weightly. Thomas says, get off your ass is right. That's right, Elite Domer Thomas. Elite Domer Thomas gets off his ass, and he became an Elite Domer. Why aren't you getting off your ass and becoming an Elite Domer, my friends? $5 a month. Hit that red subscribe button at the bottom of your chat right now. And don't say that you can't do it. Just say that you won't do it. Mom123 says, has it been 5 minutes yet? I miss Brad. You just miss his beard. Mom123, come on. Let's be honest with each other. Oh, what a crazy dome that was tonight. I don't mind the dome like that. That's a fun dome. We kind of just flew by the seat of our pants for a little bit there, and that's good. We need to do that more often. I can only hear Trump talk about eggs so many times. A Magpie. Hi, Magpie. Magpie says, why are people using their ancestors in a despicable manner? You're not the only person that have suffered in the past. Once this starts, it never ends. The taxpayers pay this, including themselves. Magpie, I love it. Ballyho to Magpie, everybody. Joining us inside the chat for the very first time. That's one of the best first comments we've ever read inside the Dome chat. Ballyho Magpie, everybody. Ralston says spot on indeed. Silver Wizard always leaves with like 8 minutes left. Why do you always leave, Silver Wizard? Some of the funniest things come out of my mouth with like 5 minutes to go in the stream. Oh, we're done watching about reparations. I'm out of here. I came here for reparations. I'm not staying for anything else. Elite Domer Lori says, I'm still here, Ballyho Lori. Thank you. Thank you for being an Elite Domer, Lori. Elite Domer Anything says, I'm always here. Thank you. Thank you. Elite Domer Dome Radio says, I have an earache in my eye. It's important. See guys, you gotta trust Mr. Rotella. At some point, that's gonna come up later, and it's gonna be a good thing that we watched it. Have I ever steered you wrong, Dome? Have I? We got a tough crowd tonight. Elite Dumber Animate says, fashionable eyewear just can't exist without reparations. I mean, what is the deal with the Democratic eyewear? Seriously. 1 second, I'll be right back. I'm not done hanging out with you guys yet. I really, you know, Mr. Rotella doesn't get sentimental very often. We leave that to Ice Hot Freeze. Mr. Rotella does not get sentimental very often. But I want to thank you guys for consistently showing up to the Dome. Mr. Rotella tracking numbers all across Rumble, and we are holding strong. Thank you, Dome. Keep showing up. It works if you work it. Sharon Sir says, if at all, rolling eyes. Stop. PNW says, Ballyho Domers, have a great Friday. Red Friday, Kid Rock PBR tomorrow night on Fox Nation, says PNW. Are you promoting other things other than the Dome? There's no other forms of entertainment out there, PNW. Come on, there's not even an outside world. Elidem or anything says, what other creators? Exactly anything. Thank you. Thank you. Thank God someone's paying attention. Elidem or Jay White having a good time. Ballyho Jay White. You see what I mean? Some of the funniest things. Silver Wizard, totally missed that. Fat Kitchen says, you sucking up some Yinling? I am tonight. I am. It's delicious. Stars and Stripes. Am I backwards in this shot? I shouldn't be backwards in this shot. How the hell am I backwards in this shot? To the cause, anything, Ballyho. Is there a Dome After Dark tonight? Ronnie says to the cause. Is it Thursday or Friday? I think it's Friday. No, it's Thursday. It's Thursday tonight. Thursday, right? Thursday? I got it. Lori with a W, Ballyho Lori. Brad says, you wish it was Friday. Friday means it's almost the weekend. I am looking forward to the weekend. We are coming back with a Saturday night stream, a Saturday mid-afternoon to night stream. We're going to be stranded on a desert island on Saturday. Sunday, the Manor will return. The Manor will return on Sunday. And then Then we're thinking about a brand new stream shares to the cause. Then we're thinking of a brand new story game coming next month, let's say. But it might be sooner. Dome After Dark says no Dome After Dark for me tonight. Tomorrow night after the Dome. Sharon's here, always plays Friday night after the Dome, my friends. Sharon's here says, and the island game will be 6 hours only. Yes. 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 I always say that when I don't have a stream to throw to, I end up staying up until like 10 o'clock at night. Or when did we play last Saturday till like fucking 11:30? Oh my god, what was wrong with me? Get a life, Mr. Rotella. Collecting fake bamboo. But I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I woke up the next morning, I was super hungover, but I'm like, damn, that was fun. That was fun. Mom123 says, oh, dem eyes. You like the bloodshot look? Sharon's here says that makes two of us. Jeez. Jeez. Maybe we should put Sharon's here to work on the island. Go collect some small sticks, Sharon's here. I love those fucking games. I don't know what it is about them. I love them. I love the efficiency of them. Fat Kitchen says stop. That definitely needs to be a Dome thing from now on. Stop. I do say that to Sharon's here. Not a lot, but when I need to, I do. Mom123 says coconuts. Yes, Mom123. Perfect. Thank you. Perfect. We crushed Lindell TV all night long, my friends. Hey, Pillow Guy, what are you doing? You gotta hire Mr. Rotella. Would we even take that job? I don't think so. I think the Dome needs to stay completely independent from everything, including all communication with the outside world. Dustin says, drink more water next time while drinking. It works for me. Speed455 says, please don't stop, Sharon's. Sharon here says, I only drink water. Yeah, but she smokes a lot of pot. Mom123 says, thought you quit drinking. My AA sponsor has entered the chat. We haven't quit drinking. We have cut back quite a bit on drinking. I'd say we're at a. I'd say we are at, and I have the data to prove it. We have cut back about 75% of our drinking. And when you think about it, isn't that kind of like quitting drinking? Elite Domer Fino still sticking around. with a round of applause. Thanks, Finno. I mean, it's nothing to celebrate. Trust me. It's absolutely nothing to celebrate. If I could install like an iron liver, like they got these iron lungs, why don't they have iron livers? Come on, RFK, let's get that thing going. Elite Domer Animate says no quitters in the dome. Elite Domer Finno says, but it's a good measure how you're drinking, so for me is awesome, says Finno. Thank you, Finno, Ballyho. Mom123, I like where this is going. Mom123 says you can buy a child liver on the black market. Officially, unofficially, totally into that. How do I do that? Sharon's here says, really? Did you get it from Amazon? Says Sharon's here. I got it from Wayfair. What do we think about the new background, by the way? We can really take a look at it if you want. This is actually right down the street from the cabbage stand. Sharon's here says liver or hair plugs, you can't do both. Well, I mean, 1 second, we're just getting the stream off the ground. Elite Domer Do Not Copy says love the pink to win. I love pink too. I'm very pro pink. Elite Domer Anything says I love the neon DC. Yeah, me too. The fucking obelisk looks so cool. I bet I get... Sharon's here. We're gonna make one more note. We need an airplane red light at the top of that obelisk. I bet I can find that and we'll have that changed for tomorrow. An airplane red light at the top of the obelisk. We got to make sure that nothing can run into that thing. Brad says Elon Musk is going to grow hair on Mr. Rotella's head. I mean, why are we wasting our time helping people that can't walk, helping people that can't see, helping people that can't hear? Let's grow some fucking hair, Elon. I mean, what a waste of time. I think it's time to go. I think Tuesdays and Thursdays I can go over a little bit of time since there's nobody to throw to. Spending a little bit more time with the chat is always a good idea in streaming. The people that want to stick around, the people that want to chat with Mr. Rotella, the people that want to sit in the back row as we just communicate with each other. Always a good idea. Illy Domers anything says, I love the extra time with Mr. Rotella. Well, let's talk about date night then. I don't need to go anywhere. I just got some things in the crock pot that I'm going to eat after this. And yes, it's the same thing as yesterday, as it was the day before, as it was 3 weeks ago. Even Dustin says, what's for date night? Okay, let's talk about it. What is for date night? Maybe that Diddy doc, says Sharon's here. We have been having some fun with Diddy. We have been having some fun with Diddy. What else could it possibly be that we watched this week? Like what, the history of U.S. relations with the Middle East? I mean, sign me up for that. We do make. I think we do make those documentaries kind of fun though too. Diddy doc. Diddy doc. Any other suggestions? Because it's sounding like it's going to be the Diddy thing, which I think is going to be hilarious. I'm just making sure that there's nothing else that we can do. Mom123 says, find a girl neighbor to give you some receipts. In my last apartment complex, I actually had one of those. It was great. She was great. It was great. She was great. Anything says, fix me another plate of scents. The last apartment, the first apartment that I moved to out here in the free state of Florida, there was a girl that would always look at me as I was walking Austin. And then like a couple months into Mr. Rotella living at the apartment complex, I got on like a dating app, right? And then we matched because she was like right in my apartment complex. And then I would just go over there in the morning. Ballyho. Ilidum or anything says, I like to cook. Speed 455 says, Diddy is the size of Tootsie Roll, said a victim, says Speed 455. Isn't Epstein's cock shaped like an egg? See, there we go again, talking about eggs. That's all that Trump has been talking about recently. Ronnie says she was a real ballyho. Well, Ronnie, I mean, to be fair, we were both, myself and the lady were both ballyhos. It's not just the lady, I was a participant too. Illidover Palm says, go over in the morning for what? Sex, Palms, sex. I was streaming at night. I was hanging out with you guys. Right? I could have had sex at night, but I was hanging with you. I was streaming. We were covering the news and the events of the day. I was a busy man. I'm still a busy man. The sacrifices that I make for you, chat, oh my God. Jesus. 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 Let's go to the fucking den at this point. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. The sacrifices that Mr. Rotella has made for the Dome. Gladly, by the way. Gladly. You know why? Because this is going to be a historical document in the year 2445. And we will continuously play this forever until the end of time. We're going to have things made up for that. We're going to have the books made. We'll hire some people. Why do you think we're having Saturday morning family-friendly Fortnite? We got to find a Charlie out there, right? A Charlie and the golden ticket. All they got to do is press a button every day, and bam, they got a job. Okay. What a great Dome tonight, everybody. To the cause, Dustin Ballyho. Can't wait for tomorrow night. I think we're going to watch a Diddy doc. That sounds fun. It sounds fun and dirty. Two of the best things to think about for a freak-off party. A bad and dirty. If you had a great time tonight, my name is Mr. Rotella. We are live. Sarah inside the chat. Well, that was not... I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't know... Mr. Rotella completely red in the face right now after that, 70-minute monologue we did at the end of the stream. If you had a great time tonight, my name is Mr. Rotella. We are live every Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern for all your misinformation needs. Make sure to hit that Rumble like button. Make sure to hit that Rumble follow button. And until tomorrow night, where I might be single and not seeking again, Ballyho.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
What the fuck is going on? There's some kind of blood. There's some kind of blood coming out of his ear. Fight. Fight. Oh my God, his ear's a little red. Holy Jesus Christ. This is what he's waited his whole life for, ladies and gentlemen. Ta-da!
God save the king!
God save the king!
Welcome the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
We're gonna have to wait to hear from President Trump, and I love the booking. It's like Sting in the rafters.